So I've got a 2002 Chevy Avalanche in the shop, and this actually came from another shop. He's having problems getting this through the smog test, and the issue has been the catalyst testing, and also oxygen sensor testing has not run and passed the monitors. I happen to live in the state of California, and the way smog test works over here would be the engine mill lamp, malfunction indicator lamp, has to be off, and the monitors have to run and pass. There's also some visual inspections that are done. Does it have the original catalyst, and a couple other things, any aftermarket equipment. But essentially, if the mill's off while the vehicle's running and the monitors have run and passed, they're no longer putting these on a dyno, and it's just we're not actually checking the emissions. We're using the computer to make sure everything's okay. So what I've got is I've got a MDI-2 hooked up, and I'm going to turn the key on, and let me see if we can kind of figure out where the issue is on this particular smog test, and the reason why he's had such a problem. But kind of the backstory on this was get to the office. Kind of the backstory was he's sounds like he spent a lot of time on this, and he has taken cats off his own Chevy truck, put them on this, and the catalyst testing hasn't run and passed, and it's got 4 new oxygen sensors. So he's kind of perplexed. Why isn't this passing? So let me so I've got this hooked up. We're communicating wirelessly. Let me build the vehicle. This is taking a while. Here, let me power this down. Sorry about that. This should go pretty quick, so diagnostics. We have a light duty truck, go to powertrain. So we have a 5.3 T engine. Here, let me back out that. Does not have throttle actuator control. It has a throttle cable. Let me see what the diagnostic trouble codes are. And we only have one, it's P0446. So, currently in the state of California, the EVAP testing does not have to run and complete. All the other monitors have to run and pass. But, let me back out of this and, kind of see where the problem is. And, what I'm going to want to do is go to IM system information, system status. Okay, so this is going to be a problem. It's automatic failure if the light's on, which it currently is. So, what monitors have not run and pass, actually the EVAP test is, completed, but it probably shouldn't have based on what I've seen. So we have an O2 sensor and the catalyst. So in this case, this is actually, 4 O2 sensors that haven't completed the test. Let me go back to diagnostic trouble codes, DTC information, not run since code cleared. Let me see how many DTCs have not run. So we have a P0133, 153, 420, 430, 440. So insufficient switching, bank 1, sensor 2, or sensor 1, So there are 12 DTCs that have not run and pass. Let me kind of already figured out what's going on, so let me switch to I'm on GM SI's information site, so I've got the vehicle here. Let me take a look at something. And let me just, put a P0420, because that's one of them, that, hasn't run and passed yet. So I'm kind of, let me see what's actually going on with this. So, we have, a TSV. Let me just go to engine controls and let's look at conditions for running the DTC. So, we can't have these diagnostic trouble codes that have, set on the vehicle. And we had a P0446. Well, look at here. This can't have run, or, can't have that DTC either pending or set and have the catalyst test run. So I believe that's where the issue is at. And, as far as this particular, DTC, what happens, for setting, DTC, blah, blah, blah. And let me go back to, let me take a look at, P0133. And I'm not sure if it's, case grounded or isolated ground, might make a difference, but, seeing as he's put many miles on this and it hasn't run and passed yet, same thing over here. So, this DTC will not, run and pass if we have a, pending P0446, or in the case of, using GM software, this is a two-trip fail, so we have to have, 2 consecutive, ignition cycles before this will, run and fail the test. And I believe P0446 is going to be the same thing. Yeah, so, here's control module illuminates malfunction indicator lamp mill on the second consecutive ignition cycle that the diagnostic runs and fails. So he could drive this around with, and possibly not have 2 consecutive failures on this, and but it appears like the reason why this is not going through on the catalyst, and as well as the oxygen sensors, is due to this P0446. Let me take a look at some data. I'm just going to go to EVAP. Don't want to be in trans. Change the units here. So we're stuck on Fahrenheit. Okay, so here's the issue for the P0446. The fuel tank pressure sensor is stuck at minus 17.43 inches of water. That's not good. And, more likely than not, it's got a defective fuel tank pressure sensor. But, given the truck's got 91,000 and some change miles on here, probably might be a good idea to replace a GM fuel, or replace the fuel pump. Although, as rare as GM fuel pumps failing is, maybe we won't. And actually, I'm just kidding. It's a pretty high failure rate. So, I'd probably, if I were dropping the tank, or, if I can, to get to the fuel tank pressure sensor, then I would probably, put a fuel pump in at the same time. So it looks like, and I'm not, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, I think the saying goes. I'm not laughing, here, because I've been in situations where, kind of wondering what it's going to take to fix something. But in the case of this, looks like he put a lot of time and effort into replacing, taking cats off his truck, putting the ones on his truck, and then putting O2 sensors on, and then driving this thing around. When it's, just a matter of, EVAP is actually keeping this thing from, running and passing the Catalyst and O2 sensor, testing or the monitors. So, hopefully this will be of some use to somebody, but we kind of have to use critical thinking, using, service information when we can. Sometimes these things, as far as, the DTCs that, can't be set before we'll actually be doing testing. They're not spelled out in either all data Identifix, GM service information, and you can actually go to, GM Mode 6. I just did a Google search for that. Click here, see what engine we have. So we have, 5.3 T engine. And, then it will give you a little bit more information. So here's for like a P0101, which is mass airflow sensor, system performance, but it kind of spells out what it is. This is type D or B DTC, and some of the conditions, things that, EVAP DTC is not active. So, there's, a few things that, even though California is not concerned about EVAP testing, the EVAP system will need to work on this truck for it to pass the California smog test. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Any questions, comments, leave them below. Thank you.